So pretty much, I wanted to make this video just to talk a little bit about Pikmin and Pikmin for 3DS. So this petition here, I came across this on change.org, the very funny site that everyone goes to whenever they don't get something they want and they have to whine and be like, oh, do this, cancel this, lose their jobs, blah, blah, because, it's all about you, right? There's not 7 billion other people in the world and things going on, it's all about you. But anyway, so change.org, hilarious site. It's really stupid. But so there's this petition, and it's more than likely satire, but I gotta be honest, I don't know, because I know how crazy some of these people are. Some of these people that bitch and whine and complain and beg over and over to Nintendo for everything. Like, they say some pretty crazy stuff. So petition for Nintendo to cancel Pikmin 3DS. They got the big, no sign over it. Now, this guy really does go over the top. We as gamers have had to suffer a Pikmin drop for 4 years. 4 years? Last I checked, Pikmin 3 came out 3 years ago. So you gotta learn your math, dude. If you go back to school, you learn math. But, heard the hype and heard the promises. There was no hype and promises. Miyamoto has talked on occasion 3 times about a potential Pikmin 4. And I'll show you guys that in a second. But he keeps saying, oh, it's a slap in the face and blah, blah, blah. 4 years, whatever. This insult will not stand. Nintendo needs to start listening to their fans and make a real Pikmin game. Proper title starring Orima, which is the Japanese name for Olimar. So you're going very weeaboo with it, which is hilarious. Oh, this is funny. And for their repeated slights and insults. What the hell are you talking about? Who insulted Pikmin or anything? We call for the summary resignations and blacklisting of Reggie Betrayame, Bill Trinan, JC Rodriguez, and whoever that girl was. This is the price you pay for disappointing us. Like, seriously, you want people to lose their jobs? Like, that's just stupid. Furthermore, this position is to force Nintendo to formally accept a fan game. I haven't finished the title yet. The Testament of Fortitude's Heir. Like, okay. Viciously ruining and censoring our childhoods. Oh my god, it's just... oh, this is funny. He put an update here too. Some have stated the new side-scrolling platformer is in the same genre of the original games, that being 3D platforming adventure. No. It's in the same gameplay style, just in a 2D form with a little more action. Other than that, it's a damn near Pikmin game just like the others, just 2D instead of 3D. Let me tell you that as a fan of the original games, I know what makes a Pikmin game better than the people who masquerade as its creator. Miyamoto has been making Pikmin games since 2001, and he created it because he got inspired from it from his own garden. So you saying this is just horseshit. And then, oh, this is funny. Since Orima, I refuse to call him by his slave name or his localized name, Olimar. This is funny. Like, it's just, I'm pretty sure this is satire, especially when we get to the end. Hopefully we can reach 100 signatures, and I can show Mom's boyfriend Todd that I'm not wasting my time, and Jerome in Language Arts that I'm not a gay wad. So it's more than likely satire, but like I said, I got this slight hunch that it could not be, just because there are a lot of crazy haters like this. But it's got 162 supporters. Now, if we go to the actual comments, where are the comments at? Oh, here we go. So this guy says, I love me some good satire. Yep. Whoop. And then, oh, here, we'll give you all comments. There are some comments, though, where it's actually people hating on it and make a co-op story about treasure hunting already. Okay. Damn it, Nintendo, listen to your fans for once. Tired of this. Listen to your fans, Nintendo. Like, no capitalization, no actual punctuation. These people are just, you can't take them seriously. This game really fucking sucks. Shame on you, Shigeru Miyamoto. Pikmin 3 was a fucking travesty. Now this, make Pikmin 4 as beautiful as Pikmin 2 and as difficult as Pikmin 1. Stop ruining good games. Pikmin is an awesome RTS game, not a side-scroller. It's just, people are just hating on it, and they haven't even played it. We got, oh yeah, stop with your shitty spin-offs, Nintendo. This one really made me laugh. Stop with your shitty spin-offs, Nintendo. So, people have been complaining about spin-offs for a while. Whether it's Triforce Heroes, whether it's Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, whether it's Metroid Prime Federation Force. The problem with it is, you look at Sony, you look at Microsoft, you look at a lot of PC games, there are spin-offs out the ass. A lot of people are excited for Halo Wars 2, which plays nothing like a regular Halo game. So why are people so excited about it? Oh, it's not Nintendo. That's why. If Halo was a Nintendo game, and Halo Wars 2 was coming out to the NX, that plays nothing like a regular Halo game, people would be bitching. But it's not Nintendo. It's Xbox One. That's the difference. People see that Nintendo name, and they nitpick things that they have to hate on. And I don't understand why. And then people overreact, like we go to Twitter here. This guy right here I found. Now my love of Pikmin has been buried along with Metal Gear, Metroid, and Harry Potter. Thanks, Nintendo UK. Metal Gear, sure. I understand where you're coming from there. Metroid, not so much. Again, if you guys supported the newer Metroid games that have came out, and it actually got sales, you would have more Metroid games. But that's just, no, sorry about that. That's just how it is. Harry Potter, I don't know. But again, this guy's just, oh, I'm ready to accept death. He said the same thing there, yeah. So, just overreacting, you know. Anyways, we're going to go over the whole thing of Pikmin 4. This game is not Pikmin 4. It would have been stated to be Pikmin 4. It's not. It's Pikmin for 3DS, working title, not final. That's exactly what they said. Miyamoto's been talking about Pikmin 4 a couple times for over a year now. So if this was Pikmin 4, they would have said it. Miyamoto has not come forward. He would have presented the game himself, first off. He hasn't done that. A lot of people are saying that it's not even the Pikmin team, that it's Arzest, which are the same developers of Yoshi's New Island. Now, I haven't actually found evidence of that, but if that's the case, that pretty much proves it's not Pikmin 4, because the fact is Miyamoto has says the Pikmin teams are the ones working on Pikmin 4. If it's not the Pikmin teams that made 1, 2, and 3, then it's not Pikmin 4. It's that freaking simple. So we got some other articles here. This was on Hardcore Gamer. This was back in 2014, and talking about, this is before Pikmin 4 was talked about, but it talked about the future of Pikmin. And here we go. It took me to this, which I have read. I read this before, years ago when this first came out, but I'm reading it again now because I want to show you guys the evidence here. Miyamoto was talking about this. This is on nintendo.co.jp. I'll have all the links to this in the description if you guys don't believe me. But if I am allowed to do a little bit of PR here, we released a series of short films called Pikmin Short Movies on October 25th at the Tokyo International Film Festival. If you have not seen it yet, I hope you will check out the information on the internet. Blah 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 blah. Let me see. He talked about at the same time. We also prepared a demo version of Pikmin 3. Continually launching campaigns after the release of software will lay the groundwork for the next iteration of Pikmin in the future. And needless to say, we want it to be one of the motivations for potential consumers to purchase Wii U. We are making a variety of different efforts. So Pikmin 4 was being planned as a Wii U game. It's obvious that it was going to be using the assets from Pikmin 3, which is why it was going to come out so soon, and it was being very fast with its development time, as stated here. Back in about over a year ago, July of 2015, when he had said Pikmin 4 is in development and very close to completion. And Miyamoto did say it was Pikmin 4. He said 4, and it's very close to completion. Pikmin teams are always working on the next one. Again, it's Pikmin 4, whereas the 3DS one is called Pikmin 3DS, working title. And it's rumored that Arzest is working on the new one for 3DS, whereas the original Pikmin teams that are stationed at Nintendo would be working on Pikmin 4. We can confirm that Pikmin 4 is in development, but that is all we can confirm at present. This was, like I said, a year ago. Now, we look at this. This is from IGN. I also have it here on GameSpot, two of the biggest known gaming media sites. This was back in, 2 months ago, July 7, 2016. So last year, Shigeru Miyamoto announced that Pikmin 4 was very close to completion, but we've heard very little about it since then. Now we have good news and slightly less disheartening news. We're working on Pikmin 4, said Miyamoto to Game Rant at E3 this year. So you know, when we're in development, we have to create a list of priorities, and it has been hard to kind of fit that into that list. But we're hopefully starting to see that on the list now. So pretty much what he's saying is that he can't come outright and say it, but the Wii U has been under expectations as far as sales go, and Pikmin 3, it sold fairly well, but not as well as it could have. Part of that is because, yes, the Wii U didn't sell well. Another part of that is because the fact is, again, fans complain that they want a real Pikmin game now, but they don't buy real Pikmin games when they come out. Same thing with Metroid. So that's the fans' fault right there. Sorry to say, or it's not really the true fans, but it's the, you know, the fake fans. Anyways, what he's pretty much saying is that they were going to make Pikmin 4 for Wii U. You know, and this is just me guessing it, you know, going by his words. They were going to make it for Wii U. They were using the assets from Pikmin 3, that's why it was so close to completion. But the Wii U was not doing so well. They need software for the NX, which is why, you know, they've barely been talking about the NX, because they're trying to get the software right. So obviously, it's being moved over to the NX. Miyamoto's probably, you know, upended the tea table like he usually does, so he's probably restarted some of the development with it, where he's probably added new things and changed things, so, and probably refining the engine now that it's going to be on more powerful hardware with the NX. So Pikmin 4 is probably now being made again. We could see a Pikmin 4 released simultaneously with Pikmin 3DS, kind of like Metroid Prime, Metroid Fusion back in the day. You know, you never know. So it's just stuff like that. This game is not Pikmin 4. We have Pikmin 4 coming. This game is a spin-off. Just like we know with Metroid, we know that Nintendo wants to make a Prime 4. We know they want to make future Metroid games. They're just working on the way to do it. So if people are patient, and if people actually buy the games and support them, we will get more games in the future. That's just how it is. If you neglect games, then games go the way of F-Zero and Chibi Robo. Great series, but no one bought them, and now they're potentially dead. It's just that simple, you know. And the fact of the matter is, Pikmin for 3DS is a Pikmin game. It is the exact same gameplay, just in a side-scroller instead of 3D. Yes, 3D and 2D are drastic changes, but then again, that's why it's called a spin-off. A spin-off. Spin-offs are a good thing. It's either nothing until Pikmin 4, or a spin-off to tide you over to Pikmin 4. Just like they didn't have to make Federation Force, but they did, to tide you over for an eventual Prime 4. It's that simple, people. It is that simple.